Dr. Juice here, and today we're going to talk about starting things. Starting things is an intrinsically creative thing. That means starting a business, starting a new idea, creating a research idea, going against the grain, changing the way your workplace is, changing maybe a social activity that your friend group does, etc., etc. I don't know exactly how to say it, but there's something different between doing something innovative and just doing something that has already been done before. And when you do something innovative and you tell it to people, there is often just an instinctual reaction to push back against the innovative part. If you're trying to do something different, then you're going to end up making people feel a little bit uncomfortable about the idea. Or uncomfortable is the wrong word here. Just there is a mental reaction which automatically assumes that the different is not good because otherwise it would already be in existence. Like somehow you have to convince the other person that everything that they've experienced up until now is sameness, and anything that doesn't exist within that may have some reason not to be existing. Like it points out some flaw of the world or some gap of the world today. So by asserting some different thing, you're kind of asserting that this conception that this person has of the way things are now, the sameness that they've built up, that there's some hole in it somewhere. I think this is kind of the instinctual reaction that people have when you come up with something different. Not everybody is like this. I think most people are. I have some small number of friends and people who will approach that differently or approach different ideas with open arms. But most of the time, people kind of push back, and that's fine. But that is something that you have to keep in mind. To bring it back to the original topic, that's something you have to keep in mind when it comes to starting something. When you start something new, you will not only do other people tend to have this doubt, but you will also have this doubt as well about the new thing you're starting. Is it even useful that you're starting this thing? Does it even make sense? You might just be wasting your time. You might end up doing all this effort just to find out that it was a total waste of effort. It didn't go anywhere. And maybe you would have been better off just doing the same stuff you're doing before. And that doubt is a rational one and one you will contend with. But I would urge you and encourage you not to pay too much attention to it. Because if you do pay attention to that, oftentimes this feeling is strongest before you start something, before you start the venture or the idea, the actual work on it. That is actually when this feeling is strongest. Once you actually start doing it, the feeling dissipates a lot because you realize it's totally fine to stop doing it. Or you're not hurt by stopping doing it. And chances are, in the process of starting this thing, you find certain parts of it rewarding. So you're already getting benefit out of it, even if you're not getting like the outcomes or the realized vision of what you had right away. So yeah, the feeling is the strongest in the beginning. And so this is why, for this reason, I encourage you to ignore this feeling and push through anyway. But there's another reason why you want to ignore this feeling and push through anyway. And that's because as a person who starts new things, rather than just working on existing things, you want to continue doing many new things. Because chances are the new thing you start is probably not going to do anything good. Chances are it was just a shallow idea, or it was an idea that once you test it, throw it against reality, smack it in the head, in the face, you smash it against reality. Turns out that it doesn't survive it. There's just some pieces that you realize you didn't realize would not actually work in reality, and turns out it breaks. And that's fine. So yes, you have to keep coming up with many of these to get the most successful, actualized, realized vision that you want. But along the way, as you start each of these things, as I said, for the first point, you will pick up stuff that is beneficial anyway. So when it comes to starting things, push through that feeling, start something anyway, enjoy the process, and own your skills at starting something. The more things you start and fail and build, or maybe you succeed at them, whatever, the easier it is to start more things. And maybe you get even better at starting things, and you're better at picking out the things to start. Start, blah, 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 blah. All right, that's Dr. Juice. Enjoy your starting. Fun starting. I love you.